What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XDC Network today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 26th day of September, and here we are at about 7.27 cents as it stands this day. We're down about 0.8% on the day, down an overall 6% on the week. The average crypto this week is down about 8%, so you're outperforming the average altcoin as far as moving down goes, right? Everything's down, but you're not down as much. That's nice to see. Pretty tame overall, right? You've had a very tame drop since July 14th here. You've just been slowly but surely coming down. As far as your chart's concerned, to me, it looks like one giant kind of W right here, right? You've got the Eve and Adam look about you. You're consolidating right at this kind of central focal point there in the W. So just consolidating right here, holding support above there, holding support at prior areas of resistance and support as well. I think that you look all right. Could you go lower and still look all right? Yes, absolutely. Does that mean that you have to go lower? No, but I wouldn't be surprised if you did. I think the average altcoin is going to move down over the coming days, maybe even over the next week or so. From a low to a high, you hit the 0.5 to the 236, you're back at the 382. In all fairness, this is an area where you'd expect to bounce. If you don't bounce here, you can go a little bit lower, and that's fine. Sometimes you do go a little bit through the 382, and that's okay. I doubt we go lower than this low. I very much do doubt that we go below that low. If we go below this low, something's wrong with XDC, and you guys are in trouble, okay? It's not going to be a good thing. How much of a move was this from August 5th to January? It's a nice little 7x move, not bad. Looking at it here from this low to high, we're very near the golden ratio. So I think it makes a lot of sense that we would go to this 7 cent to 6.7 cent area, something in this zone to find support. That makes a lot of sense to me. Support at prior resistance, prior support here as well. Even a little bit lower. The lowest I'd see us going down to is about like 6.3 cents, but I don't even know if we get that low. 7 cents to 6.7 cents is a good enough area at the moment. I think that'll hold. We likely do see higher prices in time, move down a little bit, and then once you break out, you should see a move that's very similar to this. It should resemble what we've seen here, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was even bigger. You're getting set up for the largest move that you've seen this cycle. I think Bitcoin and altcoins as a whole are getting set up for their largest moves. You should be seeing new all-time highs altogether. If we're looking at this here from the current all-time high to the bear market low here, which is also your all-time low, all-time high to all-time low fib retracement, very significant retracement there. You look to be, I don't know, it's so weird right here. I don't think that you're going to go down to the 0.5. That is 6.2 cents. It's possible, right? That could be your lowest area. Find support down there. We did say you could go down that low, so that lines up. I don't think you go that low, but whenever it comes to moving higher, I doubt we stop in this 786, 886 area for long. I would think that we continue running higher, and 36 cents, which is your primary target, the 1272 here, that would be, I think, the first destination you would stop at. If not there, maybe all the way up at about 80 cents there. So essentially, what we're saying is, yes, you have a little bit lower to go. Sorry, maybe about 15% at the most, maybe 3% at the least. Very modest kind of drop. And then from there, your minimum target would be something on the lines of about a 5x move to potentially a 11x move whenever everything's all said and done. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this year, XDC network is at 36 cents to 79 cents, something up in this area. That would be my expectation. End of cycle, a little bit higher than that. We're looking for prices that are above $1. And let's just see here. $1.2 billion in market cap. A 10x or an 11x would put you at like $12 billion market cap just below there. Yeah, I think absolutely XDC will see $1.46 or higher by the end of the cycle. You could even get as high. I think you will see a $3.50 price or beyond by the end of the cycle as well. Yeah, I think so. Will you get higher than that? Could you see a price that's all the way up at $7? We're pushing the limits there, but 774 maybe. That would put you just over a $100 billion market cap, and I think that you could see that with the massive accumulation you've had going on, with all your fundamental developments that have taken place this cycle specifically. I think it's possible, and given your current valuation, I think that you could see that, but I would focus more on this $1.46 to, let's say, $4 target area, something in that area. Typically with the 2272 you do go just above it, right? 1886200, it's kind of a zone, so it'd be like $1.46 to $1.90. Less likely that you stop at either one of those targets specifically, more likely you stop somewhere in between. But if you get above about $1.90 there, you should be home free to $3.60 or maybe higher by the end of this cycle. Again, with the 2272, you typically go just above it, so you can see prices at $4.20 for the meme's sake, right? The highest I'd give you is 774, but again, I doubt you stop there. I very much do expect you see $1.46 or higher by the end of this cycle. Okay, so good looks there. I want to look at the ribbons real quick. Let's pull up the ribbons. It's taking a second to load. Configure, and one more, maybe. We're going to get it. There we go. There it is. Bullish ribbon overall. I think we're missing another one still. We're missing our top one, our yellow one. The vibrant yellow. It's taking a sweet second to load, though. That's okay. Overall, I think it's very clear that the weekly ribbon here is bullish. We want to maintain this bullish aspect, and so to do that, we effectively just can't really move below 7 cents for too long. If we get below 7 cents, that's fine. We can go below 7 cents, but you want to see an immediate reaction back upwards, right? Like here, we got below the red line, and we were even here for about a month, and that's okay. The ribbon didn't cross down. Here, if we're down here for about a month, I would say that the ribbon, here is a little bit more expanded, here is contracted. If we were below for about a month, I still don't think that we'd cross, but by the end of October, we should be seeing some life anyway, so I don't think it's anything to be concerned with. But ideally, what we're talking about here is we'll go just below this ribbon, something that is around 7 cents or lower, and then come back up and find support. The weekly ribbon, to me, or find life to the upside, not support. We'll find support below 7 cents and then move up. To me, the ribbon is suggesting that we do go just below 7 cents, probably around 6.9 cents or lower, and we've already identified targets that make sense for that. If we're looking at this on the daily time frame, some people might be asking too on the weekly. They're like, why is the ribbon suggesting that we go below 6.9 cents? Because typically with the way you're acting here, just like here, how you were living in it, you were above it and then you came and lived in it, you found support not here in the ribbon, but below the ribbon. Typically you go below the ribbon. So below the ribbon would be it would probably be below 6.9 cents because it's not just below. It could be just below, but likely you see a little bit of a move down, maybe 6.5, 6.9, something in that area. That makes sense to me. Okay, if anyone's wondering why the ribbon is saying that we go down there, that's just my interpretation. The daily time frame has crossed down, showing some bearishness here. Significance on the ribbon, but rejecting it. Not the significance you're looking for. You probably do progress lower, and that's okay. 3-day time frame. If it would load, it's taking so long to load. The 3-day is actually at a point where it's about to cross. It's not quite there yet, so maybe if over the next week or so you can find this low and then come back up immediately and get above 7.9 cents, 7.8 cents maybe by the time this comes down. If you can get above there by the end of the first week of October, I think you'd save this from crossing down. But the 3-day ribbon, if I'm being honest, I've noticed it's not as significant as some of these other time frames. For whatever reason, it's more disrespected. I've just noticed that myself. So, but if you want to maintain this bullish look, come back up above 7.8, 7.9 cents, something like that. I'd say by the end of the first week of October. I do expect that crypto as a whole is probably going to move down between now and the 1st of October, and maybe even in the first week. That might be where Bitcoin and various cryptos find their lows. Ethereum could find its low before then, but maybe at the same time, we'll see. I think depending on what Ethereum does, XDC and other altcoins might follow suit, right? Because Ethereum's kind of like the mama duck. All the other altcoins are baby ducks, and they tend to follow Ethereum. So Bitcoin could still make lower lows, but if Ethereum finds its low, that might help altcoins to avoid seeing lower lows. I want to look at the short-term stuff, and then we'll wrap this video up, okay? Looking at this here. 1 hour time frame. Trying here. You do have higher lows in the RSI, higher lows in the in the stochastics, and higher lows in the MACD on the histogram and the oscillators, with lower lows here. So that does promote the idea of bullish divergence, that we would move up higher. What's Ethereum doing right now? Has it moved down lower? ETH, where you at, ETH? No, it's still where it was. Bitcoin's moved down a little bit more, so maybe that's why you're moving down. Most coins just aren't at lower lows from where they started the day off at, but you are, and that's okay. So bullish divergence presenting itself. I wouldn't be surprised if we did move up a little bit, but I wouldn't expect anything too dramatic to the upside. 4 hour time frame, you've got some bullish divergence as well on your histogram, on your RSI, not on your stochastics, but you've got a double bottom look. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw XDC come up to about 7.5 cents, maybe 7.8 cents at the highest. Just because you get up to 7.8 cents doesn't mean you're home free. You need to close days above there, right? Multiple days in a row above 7.8 cents, then we're home free, I think. And at the moment, it's more like 7.9 cents, if you're remembering from the ribbon earlier. But I think we move up here, and then we probably move lower, a little bit lower. And I would assume that going into the end of the month, going into the first week of October, we should see that 7 to like 6.2 cent price area. I'm thinking specifically 6.5 to 6.9 cents, right? Somewhere in that zone. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. I think I've said it all. We went from, you know, new all-time highs, cycle ending highs, to where we're going to go in the short term and potentially by the end of this month. I think we've covered all our bases. Let's look at XDC real quick. We can look it up on x.com and see if there's any headlines to talk about here. Right, being at the end of the video. If you're watching this video still, you've got to be some kind of XDC fanatic, right? Let's just see. Anyone who's never heard of XDC, do your research, man. I think it's a good project, honestly. It's one of those sleepers, right? It's building in the background. It's relative. It's relevant in the crypto space, but people don't talk about it all the time. Number 70. It's been in the top 100 for most of this cycle, if not this entire cycle itself. So I think that it's a real serious contender. Just reading here. Working on payments. Everybody's working on payments. That's good. XDC too, if I'm not mistaken, they're actually, like, the British Parliament or UK Parliament has talked about implementing them in their own financial sector, in their own services and stuff like that. They announced that earlier this bull cycle, actually, sometime in 2024, I want to say. I'm not seeing too much here. Some interesting things you can look at. Nothing too crazy, nothing groundbreaking, but I'm sure if we scroll down enough, there's probably some updates that I've missed. But I'm not going to do that here. So I got nothing else, you guys. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.